This is still actually a nice Dodge. I've never actually pulled a Cummins out of a Dodge where it's going back in again. Yeah, they do have nuts and bolts holding it together. Huh. Alright, so you can apparently pull out an engine in a Dodge and put it right back in again, but they don't make it easy.
I've never done one. So.
I've never done one either. Never actually physically, carefully removed an engine out of a Dodge, but this being the pride of the fleet and the baby of the fleet, I'm just looking. I know that you can't lift the engine up to clear the oil pan over the front axle without hitting the bottom of the firewall, we'll call it. So, one of two things. You can either take the body mounts off and lift the cab up. No. That seems like a lot of work.
No, I'm not doing that.
No. We can pull the head off.
Yep.
It seems pretty straightforward. Or you can pull the oil pan off, and we'll probably end up pulling the oil pan and the head off.
Drop all the oil on the ground?
Yeah, I think so. So, we'll pull the rad. Hopefully we can move the AC condenser out of the way. We'll start with pulling the front grill out. Then we've got access to the head. We'll start pulling the head off and go from there.
Here we go.
You gotta come.
Here you go. Keep your stick in a vise. So we were just doing some quick calculations. Not really quick because they're big numbers. But so this truck's done 1.8 million kilometers, which is, I don't know miles, but it's something.
1.1.
Sure. And we're figuring like the average, you're doing about 70K an hour, average speed. So we worked it out to like 25,000 hours of driving, roughly. There's a little bit more. And that's like 3 years of someone sitting in this truck non-stop. Ass in the seat, non-stop, 3 years. And then that works out to, we're just trying to think of how many times this motor's turned over revolutions. So we're average, let's say it does 1,500 RPM average, right? You usually cruise around 2,000, but idling's at 1,000, so whatever, in the middle. That's like 2.3 billion revolutions this motor's done, and it still has the friggin' crosshatch.
Now, in all fairness, this block was touched up, so the pistons were pulled, new rings was put in there, and they probably honed it at 1 million kilometers. The head cracked at 1.2 million kilometers, so that head only has 600,000 kilometers on it. But the fact that it was never oversized, it wasn't bored. These are stock pistons, and the crosshatch after 800,000 kilometers is still in there. Is just mind-boggling. The owner's very up on his maintenance, changes his oil regularly. I guess this is proof that that works, because I was expecting a big ass ring flange in there.
Yeah.
These pistons will pop up and slide out like it was nothing. It was just insane.
Yeah.
But anyway, to pull the head off, there was a hole here. There's a hole. I can stick my finger up in there.
So you know what? Might as well stick your finger up in there, right? If there's a hole, you stick your finger in it.
You can't physically lift the engine over the engine mounts, which are down here, and have the oil pan clear the front axle without having the head hit this. But we couldn't get the push rods out, so we ended up kind of cutting them because, like, this engine's toast. But there is a hole up here, right there. See that? There's the hole that you can you can lean your push rods into, and you can actually pull the push rods out or get your head out that way. So we did wreck 3 push rods. That's okay. Anyway, now that we've got the front disassembled, we got a little bit more wiring to do, I think it's just the engine mounts. Now we can get at the top bell housing bolts. We'll take the oil cooler bracket off. We can get out the torque converter bolts really easy. A couple fuel lines. We'll keep that pump nice and clean. and then we'll pull that out. We should be able to lift it up and over the oil pan now. If it's not, then we'll drop the pan, but yeah, so far so good. I still can't get over that crosshatch.
I can't get over the crosshatch, and I can't get over that this is a Canadian truck and it's not a complete rust bucket.
Right, even though he takes care of it. Like, he definitely washes it and takes care of it.
Yeah,
even,
but still in the spots you can't get at, like that,
right.
This is all amazing.
Right. Even the paint on the, like, it's all there. I can't, this is wild. This is like the ultimate Dodge unicorn.
Yeah. We'll do a video of what my truck looks like, and it's a couple years newer than this, and it is a complete rust bucket.
With 400,000
kilometers on mine.
So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 times as many. 4 times at least, yeah. Crazy. So ta-da! It's
magic wipe.
Yeah. Done. We had the monkeys come in at night and they finished it for us, some movie magic.
Yeah.
We lost all the footage on us actually pulling the block out. I think that was my fault, I just forgot to hit record. But it happens. We haven't lost much footage and I haven't had too much of that, but we lost the footage of the actual
around all the time.
Gary's freaking dumbass. Anyway. Yeah, we pulled the engine out, forgot to hit record. We got lots of footage of the actual rebuild and of it going back in again. Apologize for that. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this build and want to see more of this. This just happened to come in by a customer, and it was one that we were hoping to do, just kind of freshen up a Cummins build. Keep in mind that this is a lower mild engine that's been sitting for a while. So we didn't want to just throw it in, fingers crossed, if it was rusty from condensating and that, you can do a lot of damage. So if it's been sitting for a while, you don't know the history, it's probably good to open it up like we did. While you're at it, throw some rings and gaskets in it. If you guys like this, Patreon kind of helps you guys decide what projects we get to do, because somebody has to pay the bill. Everybody chips in a couple bucks, we're able to do whatever. We're reaching our next goal, which is pretty cool. We were thinking about putting an exhaust brake in the Silverado, but we also came across a reasonably priced 24 valve. So we're thinking about doing a 24 valve heat pump head on the Silverado. So head over to Patreon, you can vote on what you want us to do when we hit our next goal. But for now, this one, I just gotta take it down the road, put a good load on it in the morning. See, he can't not smile at that. Beat on it really hard in the morning, seat the rings really well.
And then he'll take out the truck and take it for a spin.
And pretty excited over this Cummins build. But anyway, sounds good. See if it starts.